hey, I didn't see you there. I was just practicing a little Bach. What's that? You want to be able to play as well as me? Well, all it takes is just a little practice. What? You don't know how to practice? Well, I am excited because I am here to tell you my tips on how to practice. All right, the first thing that you want to do when practicing is set goals, both long term and short term goals. Long term goals are things like, do I want to be a professional musician? Do I just want to do this in college but not professionally? Or do I just like it for the fun of it? Those kinds of goals can really help you, and that's the first thing that you want to do. Next is set short term goals. Those are things like, I have a recital in 3 months and I got to get this piece ready for that recital. Or I've got a lesson in 6 days and I need to get this piece ready. Or short-term goals can be things like practicing every day or 5 days a week, or when you do practice 15 to 30 to 40 to 60 minutes per day. All right, the next thing that will really help your practice is your habits. The first habit I want to talk about is time management. Time management is setting a schedule to practice this many days per week. And then, even then, when you are practicing, time management is also how much time you spend on each thing. Now, I realize that sometimes you have one piece that's going to take a little bit more time than you think, and that's really okay, but you've got to have somewhere to start, right? So that's one of the best things that can really help you become a good practicer is time management. Now, some things that you can do to really make your practice even better is the habit of using a tuner, the habit of listening to yourself, like recording yourself or video recording yourself, and the habit of using a metronome. Of course, I don't have to tell you why it's good to be able to play with a metronome. That will really help your tempo and your rhythm, but it's really important to make a habit out of doing it. So once you've set some goals and developed some really good habits, the next thing that can really help with your practice is your technique, how you actually practice the songs that you're playing. Most people just do a straight playthrough of the song that they're playing and then count that as practice. Mario Kart! So obviously that's not really doing much good, right? I call that checklist practicing. You've got a list of things to practice. You say, I played this, check. The next one I played this, check. The next one I played this, check. Okay, that was great, I'm done. You'll always get better if you practice even a little bit, but you won't get better very quickly. In fact, you'll get better very slowly. So try not to do just the checklist practice, okay? Work in sections. Pick a section a day if you have to, and just say, I'm going to work on this section and I'm going to make it sound great. Another technique to work on is slow practice and fast practice. Let me explain. Slow practice is where you take a piece and you slow it down to a very manageable tempo, and that really helps you hear the intonation, and it helps you hear if you've got anything else wrong. It gives your brain a lot of time to really digest what you're playing. And that really helps on fast passages when you slow them down to really get the muscle memory on those passages. And then what I call fast practice is, let's say that that's not enough and you're still having difficulty getting a piece really fast. Well, fast practice is taking little snippets and doing them fast, just like a measure at a time, or even 4 notes at a time. So let's say you've got a piece and it does not sound good, just like that. You slow it down. This is the first way to practice. That can really help you get a really good grasp on the intonation, but it doesn't help with dexterity as much. So maybe practice just the first couple notes. and then start adding notes as you go. And then you get better and better at that. Another thing that can really help when you are preparing a piece for performance is to work backwards. Now, I don't mean something like Mozart's table music where you literally read the notes backwards. I mean, go from the last section of the piece and play it, work on it, practice it, and then go to the section right before it, play it, practice it, and then play those two sections. And then you go to the section before that, play it, practice it, and then do the three sections, and so on and so forth. Because let's face it, whenever we practice, we usually start at the beginning. So everyone's beginning is usually really good, right? That first page is always pretty good, but the second and third pages sometimes suffer. So that's a really good way to work on it. So to recap, my 3 points today for being able to practice better: set goals, set habits, and set technique. I really hope that you've enjoyed my tips on how to practice. I hope you have a good week of practice. All right, the next thing that will really help you practice are your habits. The next thing are All right, the next thing that's going to really help your practice is habits. The first habit is All right, the next thing that will really help your practice are, I just can't do it.